Okay, let's welcome to the show. Back with us is the Hill media columnist. He is Joe Concha. Joe, it's great to have you back on. Okay, we're seeing these reports out of Washington that the Democrats are going to try to flip the script on their own defund the police push back onto Republicans. What do you say to this?
Roll the dice and take your chances because, look, crime in this country, Liz, it's a catastrophe. And it's one the absentee president of the United States doesn't have any real interest in solving. The polling shows that this will be a huge problem for Democrats 2022 midterms and beyond. ABC News, Washington Post, just 38% of Americans, and I got to meet this 38% sometime, approve of the way Mr. Biden is tackling the crime crisis. Then you look at YouGov and Yahoo. They see violent crime as a, quote, very big problem in this country. To put that in context, that's 8 points higher than race relations, which our media focuses on a lot, 10 points higher than the economy, 18 points higher than COVID. Yet the White House is saying that Republicans are to blame for defunding the police, for police morale being at an all-time low, for resignations, retirements seeing their biggest jumps ever. I mean, what's next? Republicans for open borders, blowing up the filibuster, expanding the Supreme Court, embracing critical race theory? Nobody buys this argument, Liz.
Yeah, you know, the Washington Post, you and I talked about this. We broke the news how the Washington Post gave the White House 3 Pinocchios for spreading disinformation, claiming Republicans backed defunding the police. You did a dive into this. You know, the American Rescue Plan, nowhere to be found are the words police, law enforcement, and cops. You don't find them in the president's those words in the president's speeches either, right?
Yeah, the 3 biggest speeches of his life, Liz, was obviously at the Democratic National Convention last year, didn't say police or crime once. Then at his inauguration, doesn't say police or crime once. Then at the joint session, which is basically the State of the Union, he does say police, yay, but he only says it in the terms of police reform in the name of George Floyd. So violent crime hasn't been addressed by this president whatsoever. Democrats own this crisis, and it starts at the top, and it will, I swear to you, along with inflation, the border that's anything but secure, public education gone mad, critical race theory I mentioned before. This will end the Democrats' hold over majorities in the House and essentially the Senate in 2022. Because when you think about it, what positive thing do they have to run on at this point? And particularly crime in this case, people feel that it's in their communities and they say, you know what, I feel safer with the other guys in charge than the Democrats who embraced Black Lives Matter, who embraced the mostly peaceful protests last year, and they're going to pay for it next year, Liz. That is a certainty.
Yeah, majority of Democrats, the polls show, don't want defund the police. The majority of blacks don't want defund the police. USA Today Ipsos poll showing that. A really disturbing finding. The National Fraternal Order of Police say that ambush-style attacks on cops, on police officers, nearly doubled since 2020. I mean, we're seeing cops quitting and retiring at record levels. You're seeing it in New York, in Chicago, in Portland. You're also seeing it in Minneapolis and in San Francisco. So ambush attacks on cops doubling since 2020. Your reaction, final word.
Liz, it's become so brazen at this point because now we have a judicial system that if you commit crimes, it's a revolving door. You go into the police station and you go right back out. So until you solve those smaller crimes, you're going to see people take shots at police, and less police either sign up to be police officers or they get out of being police officers. The country's in real trouble right now, and we don't have a leader that's addressing it, Liz.